Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to a very special episode of the Horrorble podcast, where we like to bring you a uniquely face value view on horror movies. Remember, we're always on email and on Twitter and on Facebook. Our email is just horrorroblepodcast@gmail.com. That is HORRORBLE podcast@gmail.com. And our Facebook is just Horrorble Podcast. And our Twitter is @HorribleCast. I'm Devin Arnold, and as always, I'm with my cool-ass co-host. First off, Manton, are you stoked? What's up?
What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm really stoked. I'm actually kind of glad that our weather here has gotten a little colder. I'm one of those weirdos that loves cold weather.
Man, fuck you already.
I feel it. I hate that, actually, but whatever. And Dylan, what's up?
Hey, I'm really glad to be here because the alternative was to be chaperoning like 60 middle schoolers doing some dumb bullshit. So, fuck responsibility, I'm here.
God, I'm so glad you got out of there early enough for this.
Me too.
Oh, man. And Blutzer, what's up, man?
I can't wait until Devin or Dylan's sixth graders actually hear this cast and hate him forever. Troll him every day in school. No, I'm actually great. I'm very excited for who we have on the show today. So
I hope to God that none of their sixth graders ever hear this cast, to be honest.
It is a constant struggle.
All right, and we have some really, really special guests. First off, Justin Benson. What's up?
What's up, guys?
Dude, we are stoked to have you. And, of course, also Aaron Moorhead. What's up, man?
Hi!
Whoa!
I like that energy.
What's up?
Great energy.
God damn, you're bringing it. And these guys co-directed Resolution and Bone Storm from the VHS Viral movie. And we actually all here loved both those fucking movies before we even knew that we would have a chance to interview you guys. So we're like really, really stoked on this end. And we're coming here from Kentucky. We're in Kentucky. Fucking Kentucky. Yeah. So it's right after 8 o'clock here. Where are you guys coming from?
We are we both live in Los Angeles right now. Aaron's originally from Florida. I'm originally from San Diego, but in LA to work. Kentucky sounds awesome, though.
Kentucky is awesome.
It is.
Our first AC, Will, he's... Oh. If you ever met... Here, I'll describe a normal first assistant cameraman, and then you describe Will, Justin. A normal first AC or a Steadicam operator or something like that, they're normally kind of slight guys. Right. They always wear glasses. They complain about everything that they can, and they're all about I think half their conversations have to do with their day rates, and the other half is about the gear not working for some reason. Okay. And that's all they've got. They literally that's the entirety of their conversations. That's
basically me on this podcast. Yeah, that's pretty much me. There you go.
Okay, all right. So
They do bring a certain attitude to camera department, though. You know,
okay.
Like, there's a thing to that where you're like, man, that guy is specialized.
Yeah,
that's a good word, specialized.
And then we got a first AC from Kentucky.
Yeah,
first AC's from Kentucky, and he is just a hard drinking ladies man.
God damn.
Described all four of us.
He will do a 15-minute long Steadicam shot and do it 14 times in the cold and not complain about it.
Good for
wearing
him.
like a t-shirt.
It's probably just the bourbon.
All he wears
has
is white
gotten
V-neck
used to it.
t-shirts. We call him V-neck the Kid.
Do you know exactly where in Kentucky he's from?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
To anybody outside, it's all the same.
I know that he lost his virginity literally with a roll in the hay.
Wow.
Very literally. They rode horses to it.
That's basically a typical Kentucky boy right there, I guess.
There you go.
To our credit, we're from Louisville, which is
a legitimate city.
It's actually
exactly.
You know it, yeah.
I've never fucked in hay before, but I can't speak for my co-hosts.
There's a first time for everything.
Well, you tell most
Wait
people that
till
you're
after
from
the
Kentucky, they think that you don't have shoes on, you don't know what the internet is. So I guess we're coming up in the world.
Don't know what the internet is. Do have shoes on.
Congrats on using Skype properly and stuff.
I know.
Yeah. We managed it.
We got bunny ears that we have hooked up with tinfoil and shit, but we got it going.
In LA, we have paved roads and stuff. Have you?
That's incredible.
That's coming up 2020.
I heard the roads part. What's the paved mean again?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
It's where you we have horseless carriages. And never mind.
What?
You say horse? Yeah, we can talk about horses if you want to talk about horses.
I love some horses.
God damn, we are derailing really quick.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Well, we'll see you guys next episode. That was a great... All right. Well, actually, we would love to talk about your movie. And first, actually, I wanted to ask you before we get into your movies, is I want to know how you guys met. Did you guys know each other before you started working together, or did you guys meet through making movies together?
We met running to get people coffee when we were interns at a commercial production company.
Whoa, can you elaborate? That's interesting.
Is it?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. To us Kentucky boys.
It's every coffee runner's dream.
Tell us about the coffee, man.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee?
Dark roast, light roast, what was it?
We were interns at a commercial production company in Los Angeles, and we just made some small talk between getting people coffees, and cool. And then we just worked together more and more. We both had been doing 10 years of like do-it-yourself films up to that point, and we're continue doing it at that point. And I think we really bonded over just like generally being friends, and as a work ethic, we're two people who both, you know, even when it wasn't our careers, we were always executing, always actually making stuff. Even though we met through a conversation, we're kind of the opposite of all talk. We just both constantly go out and shoot and shoot and shoot and make and make and make.
So you're all walk, basically.
What's that?
You're all walk.
Yeah, we're all walk, basically. Yeah. For better or worse. It's like, I'm not sure we've ever not done something we talked about.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. We are so not like that.
And in Los Angeles, as you can imagine, there's a lot of stereotypes about Los Angeles, but one is that is absolutely true, is there are a lot of people that just take meetings and go to parties.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. We wouldn't know.
We met.
That's cool.
Probably don't go to enough parties and just spend a lot of time on set and editing and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it seems to pay off so far.
Absolutely.
So I guess that kind of leads into our next question. And Resolution. We saw Resolution. It was the first of our marathon we did in October. We did an October horror movie marathon, and we all loved it. It was really great. And I wanted to know where that came from. Like, who came to who for the idea? Who brought it up? How'd that kind of start?
Justin, weren't you? I mean, you were addicted to angel dust for like 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And I never did the intervention. I think it was just like that, you know, it's a very creative drug, and he wrote
There you go.
My late teens and early 20s, I sometimes I'll be out of context with you. I'll be like, well, back in the angel dust days, wasn't this...
Do you think angel dust is the funniest drug to like mention as a drug that you do?
It sounds so harmless.
It does.
It's only funnier if you put like a former Soviet satellite country in front of it. You're like, I Lithuanian angel dust, and then it's like, whoa, what's that?
Wait, actually, didn't we go to that film festival and they're like, you're gonna do Argentinian ayahuasca or something like
It was Chilean acid.
Was it Argentinian acid? Okay, still. Maybe, yeah, terrifying.
Is this a typical LA thing to have like an ayahuasca dude who just provides it?
Yeah, my ayahuasca guy's out of town, so.
No, there's a real answer to that question too.
Okay, I was kind of waiting. I was like, all right, are we going to the next question? Or?
That was it. The angel dust.
Justin, go ahead. This is all you, really.
Oh yeah, basically, I was about to head off to medical school, and I had about a year before it would start, and I had saved up enough money in my checking account to probably go make a movie if Aaron and I did it together. So I wrote this script called Resolution. At the time, actually, it was called Chronicle. We changed the name after it was done because of the movie Chronicle.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then just basically wrote it for the amount of money that was in my checking account and what I knew Aaron and I's talents were. Most of the special effects could be done with compositing or old school pulling fishing line and stuff like that.
Nice, yeah.
And you know, the practical effects that were needed were just kind of like, well, I mean, as far as we can push it on the budget we have. That's the trickiest thing. You never want to push that too far in your script if you don't have the money for it, because you will look like people throwing spaghetti around.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that was it. Yeah, we just went out and we did it. We pulled together all of our favorite people we'd worked with on other projects who would be willing to give a favor. For example, our producer, I worked for him as a production assistant, and I basically just asked him if he'd come out and work for free for 3 weeks on our set.
My goodness.
And he's like, all right, sure, cool, dude. Just came. And now he's still our producer, but like, it was like that. It was really neat the way it all came together.
Well, as far as the guys that you've got working for it, and I don't want to like call out anybody in particular. I did originally, but then I think about it, and the movie is just chock full of really good actors. I think that was one of the first things that we noticed when we were watching it. And So we were just wondering, I mean, are those all people that you'd worked with previously on other gigs?
Oh yeah, Aaron and I had made a sort of, it's called a spec ad, basically a fake commercial to build up your commercial reel so you can go do a real one and get paid for it. For Match.com that starred Pete and Resolution. And then we made a branded short film for a small beer company that was sort of a digital short film advertisement for the beer that also featured them as best friends. And through that process, we realized that even though these are two guys that don't know each other very well in real life, on camera, for whatever reason, they have a very magical chemistry of like, I totally believe these guys are old friends. Resolution was actually the third thing we had cast them in as old friends, and they weren't actually, they're still not old friends. I don't know.
One day they'll fall into
5
it.
years.
Yeah, those two were absolutely fucking fantastic, and they had such a great dynamic, and we were shocked at how talented they were as actors. And that was one of my questions, was if you guys knew them beforehand as friends, or if you guys hired them. And then I want to know, obviously you got two of you guys working on this movie, and then there's two of those guys as buddies starring in the film. Were any of their conversations or any part of their dynamic or anything kind of based on the way you two act towards each other, or is it completely just written?
It's all written. There may be something too, though. It's like the four of us would spend so much time together. The way Aaron and I make movies is we have a very long rehearsal time.
Okay.
And a lot of times there are things that we'll discover in rehearsal that get rewritten into the shooting draft. So, I mean, I'm sure there's pieces of me and Aaron and Pete and Vinny all in it that just, definitely is going to come out during rehearsal.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know.
I think for the most part, like I guess the kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Maybe like the cowboyish naturalism of them, kind of just like slinging words around in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I think that's a lot of that a lot comes from a lot of all of four of our interaction.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not sure beyond that, but yeah, it's something like that.
I can almost tell that you made them very comfortable on set. It all seemed very natural.
Very natural, yeah.
Oh, good.
So you guys, I guess, hung out with them a lot too. Are those just cool, like two cool ass dudes to hang out with?
Yeah, they're cool as hell, man.
Yeah, after the movie, I think we all wanted to just kind of hang out with them.
Yeah,
Hey guys, can we hang out later?
Yeah, they're really cool dudes.
Yeah, Pete's just the nicest guy. He's from South Carolina. So if you get him as natural environment and put some chew in and chill out and like spit in his cup, and
That's right.
and Vinny is, no exaggeration, he is probably the funniest human being you will ever spend time with.
Really?
No, I gotta
He's
Well, he was funny as a
Yeah, he
brilliant
came off that
human
way
being.
for sure.
Yeah, like the script was hilarious in itself, and those guys nailed it as actors. I mean, they were funny. Like, that was one thing that was so unique about the movie. We went in here watching a horror movie for our October marathon, and we were laughing our asses off because it was just such a funny and natural script. Those both you guys too, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And that kind of, there's a question I want to ask about that. You guys have worked on some horror genre type movies, but again, they're so funny. Do you guys plan on like continuing in that direction, in like the horror direction, in the same kind of vein of the last movies you've made, or do you guys have plans on what you're going into next?
Yeah, I mean, we'll always make movies that are kind of like the movies that we've made before.
Right.
You know, I mean, putting a name on the genre isn't quite as important to us, I suppose. Although we love horror movies, but we love every kind of movie that seems good to us.
Right.
I think a lot of it is that the premise behind everything we do is we just try to make people really love the characters. And if you really, really love them, if you care about them, and a lot of the ways in on that is humor, making them likable person. And if if you're enjoying it, then it's just that much scarier when they're in danger, and you care that much more when whatever bad shit's going to happen to them happens.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, so go ahead. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to turn it to actually Bone Storm on that note. Cause, as we were watching VHS Viral, mean, they're short movies, so you don't really get a lot of time to establish much with any of the characters that you have. But in Bone Storm, you get like, God, I don't know. I mean, it's a little less than 20 minutes or so. And like during it, I loved those characters. And I don't even know their names. I don't care what their names are, honestly. But
important.
like the way you established it is really, really good. And what was it like working within that time frame, that constraint of having such a short film?
It was, God, how many we've done a lot of short films. Between the two of us, we've done a lot of short films. The ones we've done together, I think, actually, maybe it was our second one we've done together.
Third.
Third. That was our third short film we've done together. It's actually not, it's not that difficult. I mean, bringing the goods in something that it's, look, that's a horror movie franchise, and you have to bring the goods of a horror movie and something like that. And you don't want to. Our style really isn't. Even Resolution, it's not. Some people might call it slow burn, but it's not really. We don't hold out everything until the last 5 minutes.
No, we didn't think so.
So it's it's just about trying to find that balance. And with Bone Storm, it's interesting because since the whole last half of it is just a choreographed battle scene. We felt like spending half of the movie to just get to know these kids was reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, they're two distinctly very different two halves, and the hope is that the second half is more effective because you spent that first half just watching him eat punk kids, but also having him give the homeless guy a granola bar in his last cigarette, stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, it was great, and I think part of it was that at first you're supposed to think these are punk kids, these kids are dicks, but they did a very, very real convincing job. But I want to ask you about that film too, and just like the VHS franchise in general. Did they come to you asking if you guys wanted to be a part of it, or did you guys know anybody in it? How does the whole VHS short film thing work?
I think Brad Miska, who runs the collective, he has this giant wall of people's faces.
And you were the most beautiful on it.
He gets belligerently drunk, spins around in a circle holding a knife, and then on the fifth spin, he chucks it at the wall. And whoever it lands on, he has to.
So you guys have like double the chance because there's two of
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's really.
She asked Justin, and I was like,
It's like using 2 bullets for Russian roulette.
yeah, it was great.
Double the fun, basically.
No, actually, we pitched for it. We ran into him at the film festival.
Okay.
And we just kind of talked a little bit, and then he's like, "You guys want to do VHS if we do another one?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, VHS is awesome!" And then
That's so easy.
we were all like drinking though, so it was kind of like, "What have we done?"
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, that sounds like a drinking conversation right there.
Oh shit, committed to VHS.
And then, but then we actually tenaciously followed up on it and pitched, and there were a lot of rejected pitches they're pretty awesome, but they're rejected for various reasons that we're just like, oh, that's too similar to another segment, or that's whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bone Storm was the one that stuck.
Well, you mentioned that you were kind of like nervous. You said you had to like bring it for this. Were you kind of, I don't know, were you worried about your pitches putting them in, or were you worried about kind of like living up to VHS? I don't know. Like you said that you were kind of trying to bring it when you went into VHS as this established, I guess, a horror.
It's more positive motivation than worried.
Yeah.
You want to do something, as ambitious as you can go. At the end of the day, it's a low budget found footage horror film,
Right.
And there's a lot of really neat things that you can do with that, and you just want to make sure you do something innovative and something fresh, and yeah, it's cool. It's a really neat opportunity to take a format that a lot of people shit on found footage horror, and rightfully so. There's a lot of bad.
Sure.
I think VHS is almost the best showcase of just going to implement everything. Like, here's what you do in 20 minutes and do something new, unique.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about that. So you mentioned kind of found footage and doing something unique and neat with it. We all felt that the practical effects used in your short were fucking
Fantastic,
great.
yeah.
And we want to know if you can kind of explain, I don't know, the process of that.
I'll start just saying we worked with this guy Vincent Guastini, who's a genius. And then in general, I'll let Aaron take over. But in general, our general approach to in Bone Storm and in our new movie Spring, there's a lot of practical effects in our new movie Spring. But our philosophy is always like plan way ahead of time, plan very detailed, work very closely with your practical effects company, get everything you can possibly get on set. And again, you plan carefully, you push it as far as you can, you work with a great practical effects company, and then when you get into post, make it even better. And it's really the blending of practical effects with whatever technologies you have available to you for post-production that'll, make you slam it out of the park. But that's not minimizing the importance of, good practical effects people. And on this one, it was Vincent Guastini. I'll let Aaron take it from there.
Yeah. With that one, if you ever get the chance to work with practical effects, everybody knows that it's like it just slows the set to a standstill normally. I mean, it's the slowest process you can imagine. No, even if they're working as fast as humanly possible, it's just one of those things where when you're banging out, 6 pages of dialogue a day, and then you do a practical effect, and it's like half a page a day, a page a day. And here, so we have, if you can imagine, Bone Storm,
God, the end of that.
Which is 8 pages of a fight scene, and it's practical effects and fights and stunts and 8 cameras and a bunch of extras and stunt people, and so you can imagine, and that all that on top of a low budget and an extraordinarily hot day. So you can imagine we're kind of setting ourselves up for failure, and we actually set a personal record, maybe a world record, I have no idea, but for most practical effects in a day with Vince Guastini, where and they all looked great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
they looked amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he prepped the hell out of them, and we just kind of showed up there and destroyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually, it was pretty awesome. He even built stuff that never showed up on camera. He built like a whole skeleton rig, and we all this crazy stuff. But
That's
but yeah,
really cool.
For
It
example,
seemed like it was a lot of fun.
Let me ask you, what stands out for you as like the best effect or effects in Bone Storm, if you can remember?
For me, it was even just the all of those skeleton monsters.
I agree.
They were so good. There was something about them that just looked so believable.
Yeah.
It's awesome. What that was half these amazing skull masks and
Those were
Yes,
so
yes.
cool.
We
and
actually
they're
watched
really
that.
wearing like Nikes and stuff, and we had to paint out. Should have put some damn black tape on them, but we were moving so fast,
We watched
but
it.
yeah, so it's it's that, and then they're wearing like these. They look as close to skeletons as a human being can.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I went in and with the help of another compositor, we basically carved out and replaced the backgrounds of everything to make them like uber skinny and make them just look like bones.
God
man.
bless.
Yeah, it was frankly, it was extraordinarily painstaking and awful.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it was months. It was months.
It totally
took
pays
forever.
off. I mean, like for me, the moment you've got like the one that gets decapitated or whatever, like right outside the sewer duct, and
Yeah.
it's just chattering on the ground. And I think when we were watching, I was just like, "Fuck yes!" at the top of my
Yes.
lungs.
They're just getting you so pumped watching it, man.
Also,
I love that you guys get like the punk attitude of the film.
Yeah.
Yes,
God.
absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole film, if you could sum it up in one image, is the skeleton giving a middle finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I love
Like, that's
that
it.
image.
That is
yeah.
everything. That's everything we love about VHS. It's everything we love about. I mean, this is
Totally.
obviously more funny than and more action oriented than that.
I agree.
I feel like spiritually though, it was more in line with VHS than most of the things
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
VHS. To be
yeah.
honest, like
Yeah.
it gets that like was in the first I think overarching bit to VHS 1. Where it's just people
Yeah.
like going around and fucking people up, and
Yeah.
like this felt like the natural conclusion to that. It was great.
Right. Yeah. This kind of takes it into kind of like an absurd, almost like video game-ish territory.
Oh yeah, I
While
definitely thought that.
While
Yeah.
still being important, like you care about the characters. You really do. You care about
Yeah.
these two punks. They're
For
so
sure.
likable and weirdly relatable.
And speaking on that, a video game is the key words there. The key words. There's an actual shot that looks straight up out of a first-person shooter video game.
Yeah. Yeah. We were
That-
so proud of it.
That
It's
was
fantastic.
so.
It was so
Cool.
well done. Yeah, much better than like any other like attempts at that I've seen. It
I
was
think back
so
to
good.
the Doom movie, which was just
Yeah, the Doom movie.
atrocious in every sense of the word.
Yeah. 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 Thank you very much. We love that shot, and it's weird because that's the only real shot that does that specific thing with a gun in the foreground.
Right.
Right.
And but it sticks with people so hard.
That's why. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I saw a GIF of that shot recently. Someone made a GIF out of it. It's really cool.
beautiful.
I can imagine the skeleton with the middle finger's got to be a gift by this point too.
It was today. Today. Someone
Today.
Perfect.
Yep, it's great. I think my personal favorite thing is the GoPro point of view beating someone's head in.
Yeah.
I really loved that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
And that was
Yeah,
all
the
practical,
skateboard.
no visual effects there.
One of the things that blew me away about that is just how much fist pumping there was when we were watching this. I kept looking at all my friends around me, and everyone was just so fucking pumped watching every scene, and it just kept evolving and going more off the rails.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's
I
great.
was just jumping out of my chair at various points. It
Well,
was
it's so funny. I mean, I don't know. You start out with these punk kids, and they're friggin' hilarious, and you're kind of like, man, these kids are turds. You know, I kind of want them to die, but then they get into this situation, and you're like, I just want to see how this unfolds, and it just keeps going more just bonkers. I don't know how to describe it, but I think it was really funny that you said punk earlier. I feel like that's one. If you're gonna describe it in one word, like punk, it just feels so appropriate.
Isn't it awesome that like they're attacked by this cult of basically adults, and you realize kind of quickly that maybe they're actually like a match for these motherfuckers?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like the cool, like we love that part of it. That it's like maybe these kids, like especially the guy with the gun with the kind of this weird bloodlust.
Yeah.
Warning up the
Fight,
music
yeah.
to go.
That was one of my observations, was that it turned it wasn't like a slasher where someone's being hunted. It turned into a mutual fight.
Totally turned it on its head.
These kids just need an excuse to just kill people.
Yeah.
And they got it.
That's exactly it. They're just like, all right, let's fuck them up. They killed
yeah.
No second thoughts.
gas money kid and camera guy. Like, let's fuck them up.
Yeah.
I not to take it off track of Bone Storm, which by the way, if our listeners have not seen it, just watch it.
Yeah,
VHS
VHS
Viral is worth a watch anyway, but Bone Storm is the clear standout here. But I wanted to ask you guys about, I mean, you mentioned Spring earlier, your new movie, and I've been following it on IMDb, but I can't really tell much about it. So, I mean, without telling us exactly what it is, because you guys tend to be in kind of the business of defying genre expectations, what do we expect here? What are we looking at?
You seen the trailer by any chance?
I haven't, actually. So
You
apparently
guys want to do a live
You
reaction?
guys want to do
Trailer?
do you guys want to do a live viewing of the
Can we do that?
Can we
Can we do that?
Yeah,
now?
we can do that.
Let's do
All
that.
right.
Here,
Might
fill
as
some
well
time.
go well.
I'll pull up the trailer and Skype it to you.
It should be
Well, I
clarified.
can-
This is the international trailer, and forthcoming. There's the trailer that Draft House is making for the U.S. release which is forthcoming details as well. But
When is this?
But Draft House spotted it at Fantastic Fest this year, so they'll be releasing it this year.
Okay,
awesome.
this year. Okay.
And this trailer is the one that we made for international markets. And I think Aaron just put it up.
All right.
If we are not Kentucky.
Oh, here we
For
go.
you viewers, if you want to listen along or whatever, just type into Google like spring trailer deadline. You know, I think that'll probably
That should work.
pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadline Hollywood.
We got it
you
up
can see
now, guys. So
All
you
right.
guys
right.
get ready for
I'm
this.
excited for this.
Full
This is
screen it,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Full screen it, man.
This is like a
screen, full
genius
screen, full
idea.
effect.
Full screen. All right, let's do it.
that. We got some blood there. Looking good already.
Not. We don't have to MST3K this shit.
We absolutely do.
I love you too, man. I'm sorry about your mom. I didn't expect. Watch where the fuck you going, bitch?
Oh, shit. Just punched him in the face. I'm glad to see dude with mustaches back.
Get out of town, Evan.
Can I get a flight somewhere? Anywhere. Actually, hold on a second. Should I go to Italy?
This looks beautiful.
Ooh, I love that.
Been seeing this girl. She's really pretty, but she gives me some doubts. She's the most attractive person I've ever seen. But that doesn't outweigh that you might be a mental patient, and I gotta make sure you're the kind of crazy I can deal with.
No.
I'm a bunch of confusing biochemistry and some crazy hormones.
Let's see if the yak can keep up, mate.
I don't think you're ready for where this is going.
Explain it to me. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay here.
Oh no. Oh no. Ew. It's just a dude. like so beautiful being simultaneously disgusting.
God damn, yeah, Justin and Aaron, that was fucking gorgeous.
Boys, I am Bone Storm levels of pumped right now.
Is that a new phrase? Are we bringing that in?
God bless.
That was
Actually,
great.
you know what's funny about? I mean, we'll go back to the trailer in a sec, but we have a friend who actually who coined Bone Storm.
That was. Oh man, I hope she's not listening right now.
Oh, my mother. Sorry, my mother.
Sorry, man.
Wait, man, but I can't remember who. I've got it in my head. Either way,
How'd she do it, though? Like, how'd she come up with that? I don't understand.
we were in Rome. Actually, we hadn't even pitched for VHS yet. We were just we were in Rome,
Wow.
sitting around, and she was just like, and we were kind of joking around about her coming to visit us, and then she just goes, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then she's like, no, never mind, I don't want to bone storm your trip. And
What?
So
that
interesting.
sat in my brain forever. Like, I loved that.
I'll never forget
I love that
this.
she thought that you would know what she meant.
Yeah.
Immediately. I mean, that word, like, immediately says what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
God bless.
It's just a cluster hug.
It always makes me think of the Simpsons episode where Milhouse gets that video game called Bone Storm.
Oh, you just give me Bone Storm or go to hell? You know what's funny, though, is we didn't know about that
Yes.
beforehand.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about it until
Yeah,
I watched
yeah.
Bone Storm. I was like, where have I heard this word before?
Yeah.
I
But
remember.
I guess that fictional video game on The Simpsons and our short film are actually
Oh, totally.
the same. Like, it's the same idea of absurd violence.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, we're kind of like always a tiny bit inspired by Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who isn't?
Oh, is it?
yes.
Yeah, good point.
So glad.
Well, that trailer, you know what's funny? I had a question I wanted to ask you that I forgot about. I just revisited the trailer from Resolution the other day, and I was just kind of in awe of how great the trailer itself was. It was a really fantastic trailer, and I wondered, with that one, with Spring you just showed us, do you guys have a part in that? Like the way those were edited and made?
That trailer is actually mostly Aaron.
Okay.
Wow. Nice
Aaron?
job.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The spring trailer, but not the
The spring trailer.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, sure, Aaron, I'd love to hear you
the-
talk on it.
The Resolution one was Tribeca Film.
Okay.
And it was our first time having a movie, distributed like that, and working with a distribution company. And you always hear all these horror stories, and they sent us that trailer. And that's based. They were very small changes from the first thing they sent us, and we're just like, that's 1,000 times better than anything we ever attempted. That trailer, like,
It's so good.
That trailer's so good.
It's really good.
You know?
Yeah, there's something that about trailers, like, I have such a thing for trailers. I don't know about these guys, but I love trailers, and like, that Spring trailer did something really cool, which is that it doesn't give away a whole lot, but it gets you really interested. And I always appreciate a trailer that is like, it doesn't sell it to give you too much, but it gives you just enough to where you want to see it really bad.
For sure.
Definitely.
I always appreciate a good trailer, so it was great. I really liked it.
Thank you. Yeah, we like it too, very much.
Well, I'm glad you guys like it.
Well, all right. I would love to get some emails in before we close out the interview. Excuse me. We have a few emails of questions that people want to ask you guys.
We were talking to our friends about this, and they were very pumped. They just started frantically sending us emails.
Bone Storm levels of pumped, we would say.
I just want to say that when
Actually,
I first heard that,
use Bone Storm as a verb, like for the most part, or like my day just got bone stormed with meetings.
There we go. Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
My week has been bone stormed with meetings. This
There you
rules.
go, yeah.
Bone storm can also be a good thing. Like oh my god, let's go bone storm this sorority party.
wow.
However you want to use it,
I like
Dylan,
it.
you should teach that to your students.
Oh, I will.
It's all contextual.
Kids, we're learning a verb today. Bone storm.
Vocab of the day, bone storm.
It's about context. That's the real lesson.
Yeah, for sure. It's all contextual. All right. We got an email from Corey, and he says, first off, he loved the film, and he's looking forward to the next one, which we just watched a trailer of, and we got a reaction podcast of it.
Watch a damn trailer, you fools.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he says he's really interested always in the Indian burial ground trope from American horror stories and film. And he said, what made you guys decide that such a trope fit the narrative in Resolution?
Originally with Resolution, there are so many red herrings in
Yep.
Resolution in terms of like what could possibly be causing the phenomenon.
Right.
And it was with that one in particular, it was just having fun with the audience and playing with their expectation of like what this entity is going to be, if there even is an entity, what's manipulating their situation, and really just kind of treating the movie as if, you know, a character in the movie could be aware of this phenomenon you typically see in fictional storytelling, or even if they're not, that it's something a viewer is quickly going to hone in on, and then just be tricky. Just send them down a different road and then go to another one.
Yep.
In spring we do it a lot too, but in spring we do it with more classical ideas of monsters like vampires and werewolves, Lovecraftian creatures and stuff.
Oh
like that.
man, that's exciting.
I mean, in Resolution, there was a moment I think that all kind of clicked for me, where they have the girl looking in the window at them.
Yeah,
and
So
it's just
good.
never brought up again. And
So
I was like,
good.
oh
Yeah.
my god, what?
That's so cool that something so simple can get under people's skin so
yes,
well.
absolutely.
It's really neat. It doesn't even cost you anything.
I
So-
appreciate when a movie subverts your expectations. Definitely.
Yeah,
That was actually our production designer, Melissa.
definitely the girl in the window.
Yeah.
That's great.
Excellent work. I thought it was funny that you guys mentioned games earlier, because there's one scene. I feel like there's always a scene in a movie that like sticks to me, and it was at the very beginning. I just fired up Resolution, and at the very beginning, the guy pulls up in his red Jeep, and he's like sitting on this misty, like almost like, I don't know what you'd call it, just like a balcony, and it just so much reminded me of Silent Hill. I don't know why, like it's just like the fog.
It's really interesting. There's been a few very serious video game comparisons that Resolution has had.
Okay.
And especially at that time, I was not aware of video game pop culture in any way whatsoever when the script was written.
Okay.
So it's really neat that like totally independently someone can kind of end up at least getting close to the idea of some other medium that I bet if I played those games, I'd love the hell out of them.
What did they tend to pull? What were the ones that they mentioned?
One is Silent Hill, and I can't remember what the other. There's another one that very specifically people bring up. That's supposed to be a really frightening, unnerving video game.
You'd have to get back to us on that one. We'd be very interested.
I will. I'm actually, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm trying to find the skeleton giving the finger getting blown up.
Yes.
Oh, weird. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm just looking at a lot of porn.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, we've
And
got
skeletons giving the middle finger.
We've got that on our second monitor right now.
Different things. Never mind. Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm busy. Sorry.
Oh, found it. Who should I tweet it at?
Horrible
Tweeted at
cast.
Horrorble Cast.
Horrible cast. Before we let you guys go, we have to ask. We always want to know this. So I'll start with Aaron. Just give us shoot out a few of your favorite horror movies of all time. We want to know.
Man, it's such a hard question.
It is.
You don't have to
Brutal,
list,
isn't
no list, no nothing. Just some of your favorites. Just whatever.
Yeah. Okay, because all of mine are recent discoveries, and I kind of forget about my all-time favorites.
Sure.
That's what happens to
But
us
I
too.
Respect.
I'm really sorry, Justin. I'm going to take all the easy ones. We have the same taste, so it's always these are always
Right.
tough. But I just recently rediscovered Wake and Fright, which is almost not even a horror movie. Have you seen it?
I
No, I
don't
haven't
know.
seen
We
it,
haven't.
I don't think any of us have.
So Draft House released this film, they re-released this film from the 70s, an Ozploitation Aussie outback film
Yeah.
called Wake and Fright.
Oh, maybe I have heard of this. Keep going.
It's spectacular, and it's on Netflix. But it truly is it's like a masterpiece that is completely ignored. Where this teacher that is he's a teacher and doesn't want to teach anymore, who is in the middle of the Australian outback, like the desert, and he's teaching in a schoolhouse where basically there's a schoolhouse, a railroad, and his house, and nothing else.
Whoa.
Right? And so he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to Sydney. School's out. I'm going to Sydney. I'm gonna go see my girl.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this picture of his girl, and he's like, look at my pretty girl. So he gets on the train, and it's a long journey back then, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. So he gets on the train. He gets off at this place called the Yabba, and everybody in the Yabba is so nice. They're so nice. They'll do anything for you for free. And the biggest thing there is you go there and there's like, if you can imagine like, you guys have like Sam's Club or Costco.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like that, but it's a bar. It's just a huge like warehouse wholesale bar where there's just like 40 bartenders just pouring one kind of beer nonstop.
It's the promised land.
Taps don't stop running. And everybody just buys you beer. And they don't expect you to get them a beer. You just get people beer. You get beer, you get beer, and you just drink.
You said this was a horror movie. This sounds great.
It is kind of horrifying, and by the end of it, but at the beginning, you're kind of like, what is this fantasy?
Right.
basically all they ever do is hang out with each other and drink beer, and this guy ends up losing all of his money and drinking beer nonstop, and he can't leave this weird purgatorial place where everybody's nice to him. And it spirals into this terrible nightmare of like, stop drinking, like stop drinking, get a little bit of money and leave, and he kind of keeps on ending up there, and it's like really devastating. And,
God, that's too real.
Yeah, good lord. Also,
this undercurrent of evil through the whole thing.
Right.
So Wake in Fright's a big one.
I was gonna say, yeah. One more time. What was it?
Wake in Fright.
Okay, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that one on the list.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Justin, did you have ones that you want to talk about?
Have you guys seen Kill List?
Have we?
We talk about that almost every single
my God.
cast.
It may be the most divisive movie.
No, before we start, literally like 20 minutes before we recorded you guys, me and two of our other casters were sitting there talking about it on our podcast. It was like just shooting the shit. So sorry, keep going.
So what are you guys divided on it? Who are the lovers? Who are the haters?
Okay, Devin.
All right, so
Devin is the ultimate lover of it. That's me.
Brandon is a lover too.
That's me. Yeah, I'm Devin, and I am the ultimate lover of it. And then Brandon also loves it. Now, Dylan, take it over.
We can't like get into this because we will seriously just do this for hours. We have before, but it's not that any of us don't love it. I love the movie, I really do. But I've got issues with the end, and it was one of the most contentious episodes we ever had.
Yeah.
Not even on our cast. This was before we even dreamed up the cast, and we were just yelling at each other.
We got into a multiple-hour discussion on that movie twice, I think. I think we watched it once and discussed it for hours, and then a second time and discussed it for more hours.
Our friends just left listening to that.
Which is awesome. I like that.
Anyway, Justin, you weigh in on it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hear your opinion. Yes.
Oh, I've heard the problems with the ending from quite a few people.
Sure.
I personally don't have a problem with the ending at all. But the reasoning is that and it's funny because my reasoning is very much a subjective thing. For me, even though there wasn't that much specific setup in terms of like the culture of a pagan cult or like the visuals of a pagan cult specifically, that there was a feeling in the movie. It was in the music and it was in the sound design.
Oh God,
and I felt something coming at the end, and it couldn't be supernatural in that world. It was just something really horribly creepy, and it's been set up the whole movie.
Yep.
The list itself the movie itself does feel like a ritual. There's a list of things they have to get accomplished in a ritualistic way, and that's all there. And I think that when you're dealing with the idea of it ending with like sort of a pagan cult ritual, that that stuff's important. But more than anything for me, like the main justification for the ending was like, I know this is going to sound like fruity, but it's like, I felt that ending coming from the beginning of the movie.
Sure.
That's exactly what Devin said when we watched it, because we discussed that. And I was kind of one of in the camp where I didn't so much like the ending, but as Devin said, and as you said, you do kind of get that feeling. And I found that more the second time watching it. But yeah, it is a bit subjective whether or not you just kind of, it either clicks for you or it doesn't.
It's what it does for you at the moment.
Yeah, I think that if like a supernatural pagan god broke Earth and came up at the end, I think then I'd be like, I'm not sure if that was, I don't know what that'd be.
Oh, sure,
But ultimately, it was just, it was an ancient tradition that they had been feeding into, and one that you can kind of hear it in the music of the movie from the very beginning.
Yeah, and it's like how you guys put out with Resolution. It's hard to end a movie.
It really is.
It's hard to end a movie.
Yeah. And then beyond that, the other one I'll say that I think is an interesting one, but it's because no one ever really brings up exactly why. Everyone loves The Exorcist.
Sure.
But there's The Exorcist, and there's every exorcism movie since, and some of them are pretty good, and some of them are bad, but the thing in The Exorcist that no one ever has gotten quite right is that in The Exorcist, you never know exactly what it was possessing that little girl.
Sure.
The priest doesn't figure it out. The scientists don't figure it out.
Right.
They make their best estimate by having the priest come out. And they think maybe it's just going to be a psychological purging. But but that's it. And it's those first 15 minutes when they're at that archaeological dig site, and there's the dogs barking a little bit too loud in the sound design, and him looking at the mysterious symbol on the piece, and it's just some really creepy, mean, ancient evil, and they don't really define it very much past that. Except there is some deduction that goes on. They figure out it's not Satan. They figure out some other things, but it's really the mystery of that movie that keeps it a classic. Whereas most other Exorcist movies become, very specifically about being possessed by one thing.
Right.
And that's why.
Yeah, that's a good read on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we let you go, I would love if you guys could give some plugs, or do you guys have any final thoughts or plugs you want to give before you guys get out of here?
I don't know. It'd be cool if everyone saw our new movie Spring when it comes out this year.
Totally.
Do it.
Cool.
They should do it.
Yeah.
At the very least, look at the trailer.
Right.
We just looked at it. It's awesome.
It was rough.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Everybody, you know what to do. Go to Twitter.
I'm not married. Aaron is. Aaron, what are you looking for? What do you want?
What do you want?
I want some more money in my bank account.
There you go.
Aaron wants money.
So Aaron wants money. Justin wants a girlfriend.
And look, if the Horrible podcast can provide it for you, we would love to.
Do what you can, guys. Please.
I think we can't do shit for the money.
So far, we've got 4 guys and a bunch of broke asses. So I don't know if we can provide either of those.
Listen, let's not rule anything out.
Thanks for asking that. Jeez.
It's cool though. We can start up a Kickstarter for giving money Aaron too if you guys want to do it legit.
Yeah.
It'll just be called Giving Aaron Money Kickstarter.
Can we start?
I sent
Isn't that
you
what
guys.
most Kickstarters are in a
I
way?
sent you guys a very special tweet just now. You should probably look at it because it.
I can't.
All right, we're
wait.
gonna look at it right this second. Actually, I hope it's the Kickstarter.
No,
You just already set it up.
It's a donation feed.
Oh man, hold on, I don't see it.
Come on, you're so bad at Twitter, man.
What are you
Man is
doing?
not-
Well, I never
a
log
veteran
out of my
of
own Twitter. Hold on, I
Oy vey.
gotta log into the other one. Are you guys logged in on your phones?
Oh my gosh.
Here, wait, I got
Go
it.
back to Twitter.
It's plebe right now.
We're in Kentucky. We don't.
Yeah, we don't
What
do
the
this
hell is
here.
this Twitter?
Wait, why do you sound Swedish?
Oh my god, this scene is so
It's
raw.
a very unique Kentucky accent. It's in only certain.
Oh, here
I
we go.
want to see it. Where is this thing?
Oh, here we
You
go.
too.
I got
Here we
it.
go.
Wait, is
Oh my god, yes. I remember that scene.
is
I
so
fucking
good.
love that. That is so
The
good.
GIF, yes.
He just realizes it's all over.
It's funny because we watched that right near Halloween. We were all talking about how we wish so hard we could dress up in those costumes for Halloween. Oh
Just would
man.
not be able to pull it off.
Oh my
I don't know,
God,
I'm
if
pretty
someone
skinny.
wore a Storm Halloween costume for Halloween, I would be just so happy.
Maybe we gotta try that next year, guys.
Does that
I don't
mean
know.
you've made it as a horror director? People dress up.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be
Yeah.
like a hobo Grim Reaper.
That's what we'll tell everybody who's not seen the
I stole that
movie.
joke from Justin's script. It's actually
Even just
Oh,
watching this
shit.
gif over and
Oh,
over again, I love it.
Yeah, and to see some of Aaron's visual effects brilliance. Look at the detail of the shadow on the wall.
Oh yeah, the
nuts.
shadow is so
Damn.
cool. Like I love that.
That's
Oh,
the thing.
man.
Watching this, you wouldn't call this. I mean, I personally wouldn't call this like a low budget film. It just looks
It
like
doesn't look
a
like it, no.
shortened, movie. Like I don't know. I never got the feeling that it was like you all were like drawn thin on your budget or anything.
I mean, so yeah, Aaron, if you might not have enough money, but you're making it work. What you got?
You make it look like you have enough money.
You look rich as hell, man.
good.
Here's an interesting fact. I blew up that skeleton with an air gun filled with foam. Yes. On a tiny little stage. I'm standing under his skirt, under his hobo
His hobo dress.
His little hobo skirt.
his hobo Grim Reaper skirt, shooting air and foam up his butt.
There you go. That sounds like a good
What you
time.
can't tell is that there's actually that exploding skeleton did not explode on set. It actually that's all shot on green screen.
Oh man,
Really?
Wait, what?
So even
the man giving the finger was there. He gave the finger and then he ran out to get a clean plate of the background, and then we shot a little miniature skeleton and exploded it with like compressed air and
Wow.
We're still
with Vince
looking at it.
Costini. Back to full circle. Vince Costini
Yes.
set that one up.
I think we're just gonna watch
and
this
there's,
GIF
and
all
there's two
night.
people pulling his skeleton torso in two different directions attached to string.
God, it looks
Holy
beautiful.
Shit.
We're
See, I
gonna
love
watch this the whole rest of the night. Just leave it up.
We're actually all four looking at it right now, by the way.
we might just review this GIF as our next movie. Honestly,
This gif is probably better than some of the movies we reviewed. Let's be real,
I will
man.
say it is.
I actually just want to go watch Bone Storm right now.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, check out Resolution, check out Bone Storm, and check out their new movie, Spring, which comes out, when, guys, again?
This year. I don't think a date has been officially released yet, but it's definitely coming in 2015 from Draft House Films.
Okay, so 2015,
Excited.
it'll be coming out, and we're super, super stoked about it.
Most
Dude,
definitely.
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure having you guys on.
God, you guys are cool as shit. Hopefully we can keep in touch when you guys are making more movies.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, guys, on behalf of my co-hosts, Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson, thank you so much for joining in. We are on email, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Look us up. And as always, stay spooky. Make a ghost noise, guys.
You guys are dorks.
Yeah, it's true.
Chris, it's Michael, your best friend. Can I come up? Yeah, man. Okay, I'm coming up, all right? Don't shoot.
Hey, guess what? We're back. And we just had an exclusive interview with Resolution and VHS viral directors Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, and goddamn was that good. And was it Aaron Moorhead that called us dorks?
Yeah,
again?
it was.
Yes, he did.
That was fantastic.
I'll never forget it.
Don't forget the soon-to-be directors of Spring.
Honestly, that's going on my resume. Called a dork by Aaron Moorhead.
Seriously, it's awesome.
It was awesome.
Can you talk about your experience?
It was really cool that he came up with the idea of watching that trailer on the show. Like
that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll have to do that again.
Yeah, we have to get that soundbite, of course, of him calling us dorks. And
I would love to just throw that in throughout every episode.
I would love to play it right after Blutzer says anything. Really.
I wish it was just you are a dork. You're a dork.
You're a dork.
You're a dork. You're a dork.
Hey, we can splice it up a bit. We can take the S off.
All right, we got some news I want to discuss, but I'm a few more drinks in since the last time we were on, so this should be fun. So first, I want to talk about the remake, which I think is going to be so fucking great, but it's a movie we all don't care for that much. It's It. The movie It.
Right.
I've literally never seen it.
Okay, you've never seen It?
You've never seen
I've
it?
never seen it.
Never seen It?
Is this the one by Cary Fukunaga?
Yes,
Yes.
This is going to be directed by the True Detective director Cary Fukunaga, which really has not done much else besides True Detective.
To be honest, he doesn't need to have done much else. I mean,
think
if you haven't
is it a
seen
he
True
or she?
Detective,
Do we know this actually?
It's a he.
Okay.
If you haven't seen True Detective, I mean, this guy directs his ass off for 6 episodes.
God bless, yeah.
It's incredible.
It's great, but I mean, isn't kind of the writing what makes that show? That's what it makes it for me.
I kind of agree with man on that.
No, the writing's fantastic, but the direction, the
direction's good.
the fourth
yes,
episode, I think, like the
Right.
drug raid. That bit is amazing.
Oh god damn!
Yeah,
yes,
come on,
that scene
guys.
is so fucking good.
You guys are killing me.
But here's the thing though, like when you talk about a movie like It, about that's very very character driven, very writing driven. It's I mean the old one I guess was very very long, 2 parts pretty much.
Way too long.
So
it was awful.
It's a TV movie. That's why.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
So from there, I feel like you need a really good writer for that.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, you got to assume that like Cary Fukunaga
That's a
wouldn't
good point,
pick up
too,
that movie
yeah.
without a good writer.
That's true.
And even the trailer, or I guess the intro for True Detective alone, is so beautifully shot and directed that you got to assume he knows what he's doing. Also, I thought it was funny. I was during Halloween season, we were all watching a movie a day or whatever. Or at least I was trying to do my best to do that. And I was going to...
You did more than your best, buddy.
Yeah. But I saw it was coming on TV, and I have a DVR, and I can record these things. So I was like, oh, I'll record this and watch it tonight. But when I went to the movie, it was set for 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Oops.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, no, thank you.
I have
really that
actually
long?
yeah it
With
is.
commercials.
Maybe I've never seen the whole
With commercials. With commercials.
The thing is, it's essentially 2 movies long, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And here's my thing is like I have absolutely no interest in watching that movie. The only way I'll watch that is if we review it. I have no interest at all in that movie.
I think we talked about a clown
I mean, we would have to be just doing it, and that's it, because...
doing it. And
there's
Oh my
there are
God,
so
shut
many
up.
It jokes to make.
So provocative.
no, I mean, we would have to like just do an entire podcast on that because
Maybe.
it's such a long
Well-
one. I don't really know that I want to. I thought I'd seen it all, but I guess I
I've seen
haven't.
it.
I can assure you, I've never
Every
seen
time
it.
someone says I've seen it, I just can't help but laugh.
We should fucking move on then, I guess.
Let's just move
talking
on.
But there's
about?
plenty of great clown movies you can watch. There's like Stitches that would be fun.
Is it-
There's
No, I would love to do a clown theme.
Yeah.
Like some of those ones you showed me looked pretty interesting.
And I showed you guys the trailer, maybe you watched it, of actually just called Clown, which is Eli Roth produced Italian movie that looks pretty fucking terrifying. It looks like a version of The Fly, except the guy's turning into a clown.
That actually looked interesting. Yeah, I did like that.
I feel a little leery about anything that Eli Roth produces. I'm not a fan of the guy in general, but he has produced some good stuff. He's put his name on some good stuff.
Yeah, production's different.
I'm leery of anything coming out of Italy right now. As much as I love their cars, the last 2 movies we watched from Italy were just
but those came out 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Italy has a pretty good track record as far as horror movies go. But yeah, this guy was very like independent, very small, and I think Eli Roth discovered the movie, which I would imagine, and then really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, also Stitches is good too. But yeah, that's coming out. Again, I don't care as much for it, the movie, but I love Cary Fukunaga, or at least I love True Detective, and that was his main endeavor, so that could be cool. Also, there's a comedy horror series coming out. This is interesting, and it's starring Emma Roberts of Scream 4 and Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, notably from Halloween, and it's called Scream Queens.
That's so weird because you always hear them associated with that term.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of capitalizing on it. I don't know.
Is there any chance that this is the one that Ivan was referring to?
You know what? I actually saw American Horror whatever, and I was like, man, that sounds a lot like Ivan when he was referring to that. How great would that be?
Which American Horror Story?
No. This is its own thing. That's coming out. This is its own thing. So, but still, when I read this article, I was like, what if this was what he was referring to?
That's an interesting thought, yeah.
But you know what? The producers of it are from, this is a hilarious marriage. It's from the producer of Glee and the producer of American Horror Story.
I don't know.
I mean, who knows?
American Horror Story to me is a train wreck of a show.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna like go, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, honestly, I saw season 2 and I actually really liked it. The one about the witches.
No,
I found it enjoyable.
That's not season 2. Was the one that was in like the insane asylum, and that's the one that I watched part of because my brother was watching it at the time. I hated it. Oh my god.
I kind of got dragged into watching the one about the witches, and I was ready to hate it and I was ready to rip on it, but honestly, it was not bad.
I mean, I haven't actually watched American Horror Story. I'm
probably going to get a lot of shit for saying that. I've heard people say it's trash.
I mean, I can't stick with it.
No, I've heard great things too, though.
Okay.
One of the problems with it that I noticed from what little I have seen, honestly, of it is that it throws everything at the wall and hopes that it sticks.
Right.
I mean, more than half of it just falls completely short.
Speaking of horror TV shows, not to derail this, but something we didn't actually talk about yet is the fact that Sam Raimi and what's his name, the guy in Evil Dead, the actor
Bruce Campbell,
right. They're both coming together to do a fucking Evil Dead TV show.
Why have we not
taking place after Army of Darkness?
Yeah,
are you fucking shitting me? That
so
sounds
cool.
amazing.
You know what's crazy? Sam Raimi is putting his fingers in like a shit ton of pie, so to speak. He's got so many
delicate metaphor there.
He's got so many things going on right now, and I'm going to bring up another one soon. But right there looks and sounds amazing. They just can't fuck it up.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, we've got the original people involved, and like, like Sam Raimi, he hasn't done anything to lose my trust in
Spider-Man
him.
3.
Even then,
okay. No, and you're right. I don't lose my trust.
They
in
forced
him.
his hand there,
right? I feel like his hand was forced.
Though.
But even then, like he put out, Drag Me to Hell, which honestly, truly, I fucking love that movie. I saw it in theaters more than once, and I loved it each time. Such a cool movie.
And Spider-Man 2 was fucking great.
It's still one of the best.
I think we've all
movies.
agreed, if we're talking about Spider-Man briefly, that it wasn't Sam Raimi's fault that movie was shitty.
No.
It was the producers and like the pressure on him.
I just worry that in the TV format that he might be under some bigger constraints than he's used to.
And to me, like if Bruce Campbell's in it, count me in.
Sure,
I'm in.
I'll watch that dude in anything.
Well, let's go on from there because Sam Raimi is producing another movie apparently.
What?
Oh man.
Yeah, and you guys,
he's producing.
I'm not sure. Producing.
Okay.
And I think mostly what he's doing now is producing, as opposed to directing, of course.
Sure.
Apparently, they're making a The Last of Us movie.
Oh right, yeah, they are.
Yeah. And
based on the
video game.
Yeah, The Last of Us is a survival horror video game. It's barely even horror. It's more of just like a post-apocalyptic tale.
It's awesome though.
Of like a father figure and a daughter figure. it's a really, really story-driven game. So I could see it working out.
So man,
well.
you've played it, right?
I have played it. I haven't played through the whole game. Brandon and I actually played it together at the beach like a bunch of real nerds.
Dude, it was awesome, man.
Guys, that's so cute.
Yeah, we're adorable.
Me and my roommate played together, and it was.
Wow,
it was,
we're roommates too. Wow, that's so
I know, weird.
I love roomies.
My roommate doesn't play it with me.
It was fantastic. It's beautiful. It's moving, and it's got some of the best CGI in a video game I've seen to date.
So you guys, I mean, having played it, I haven't, but do you feel like Sam Raimi's a pretty good directorial choice there? Or producing
it's essentially another apocalyptic zombie movie. So it
seems like a really somber.
Yeah,
game.
it is.
Very,
and actually,
yeah.
I was gonna say like. I would love to have seen what is it, Cary Fukunaga, is that it?
Yeah.
I would love to see that person instead.
Really?
Almost just because it has it doesn't have that Sam Raimi tone,
right,
of,
but we don't know the director yet.
That's true. I mean, he's only
but if it's
producing.
Sam Raimi, it's gonna probably be someone less,
It might not be. I mean, honestly, he might just have his name on it. He might just be overseeing some things.
Right.
And Sam Raimi he's professed himself as a huge nerd, so I'm betting he's played the game. He's a big fan of it.
Yeah, but honestly, as video games make shitty movies.
They do.
And I hate saying
I
that.
just flat out, they do.
Because and the problem is like video games work for what they are because they're interactive.
It's the medium. Yeah.
It works in its own medium, and when you try to have the story go from a video game to a movie, it doesn't really work. I don't know if this is going to be the one to break the mold. I don't really necessarily see it going that way.
I mean, case in point, if anybody's ever seen like Blood Rain or House of the Dead, like all the
holy fuck. Can we do an Uwe Boll episode where we watch? Oh my god,
so bad.
Oh,
Dylan went straight to the bottom of the barrel.
Man just has no concept of what a movie is, and yet is making movies.
Hey man, we watched Far Cry after a drunken night.
And we had
house, and it was raw as fuck.
It was amazing. I mean, it was trash. It was pure trash, but the best kind of trash.
We honestly might need to do one.
We might need to do that.
It's horrifying just how terrible they are. So we could maybe stretch that.
All right.
Devin, what's next?
There's another one which is to me way more intriguing, but I don't know what this comic is. But there's a comic apparently you guys might know. It's called Outcast.
No, I've never heard of it. You're talking about the rap group?
No, sorry, I'm going to say rap group, not comic.
Okay.
I wish there was an Outcast horror movie coming out.
Love.
I mean, do you remember the video for Sorry Miss Jackson?
Yeah.
Great video.
It is.
All their videos are awesome. But the one time they tried to make a movie, it was not so good.
Moving on, guys. The creator of this comic is called Robert Kirkman.
He's a Kentucky boy.
Oh,
well,
really?
He wrote Walking Dead, yeah.
Invincible,
Okay, well, he's doing an exorcism-themed comic. Or he did do it, and they're making a movie out of it. And guess who is at the helm of this movie?
I have no idea.
Adam Wingard.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Wait. Sorry. It's a show, a TV show.
Okay.
Get it right, Devin.
Sorry.
Come on.
Exorcism.
That is a big difference.
Exorcism themed show from a comic book called Outcast, and the first episode is by Adam Wingard.
So
That's
how many?
interesting.
I mean, are these? This is like vignettes. These are standalone episodes.
It's a television show. It's gonna be
Right,
a TV
but
show.
is it like an overarching story? Because I can't imagine you can exorcise somebody more than one time. Although the Exorcist movies have proven
all I know
otherwise.
that it's based off a comic series, and Adam Wingard's doing the first episode, and they're probably gonna.
Interesting.
What? That actually brings
Being
up.
possessed by a demon is a one-time thing like chickenpox.
Yeah, basically.
You can only have it once.
Yeah, totally.
To me, it sounds awesome, and that's
I'm behind it.
That's another thing where it was like, man, what if like Ivan Kavanaugh, the director of The Canal, was part of this one? Like,
Oh, man.
because only the first episode, at least thus far, is supposed to be done by Adam Wingard, who we love, who did Your Next, by the way, for those who are listening, and we love that movie. And a exorcism themed show with various horror directors working on it sounds pretty.
Yeah,
fucking
that
great to
does.
me.
I mean, and Adam Wingard is a good choice. It's cool that they didn't go with like I don't know, somebody that's a little bigger or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I'm super excited to watch his new movie.
The Guest.
Yeah,
The Guest.
I want to watch that so bad. I guess we'll see if that's really a horror movie. But
It's being pitched as a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything. I can't wait.
It's been compared to slashers and
Yeah.
revenge flicks and stuff like that. It could totally work for us.
Well, actually, Devin, if I can make a pitch, having seen the first episode only of it, but there's a British TV series called Black Mirror.
Oh,
I've
I've been
heard about
hearing
it.
about this. Yeah,
I've only watched the first episode, but it is one of the most profoundly affecting things that I've seen.
I've
in a
heard such
long
good
time.
things. I'm
Me
really
too.
interested to watch it.
I have heard about
Not
it.
explicitly a horror show, but it is kind of horrifying in the sense of what like technology can accomplish and can really mess up in our in our world. And it's one of the most like just kind of paranoia inducing things that I've seen.
Just look at our podcast, look what it does to people.
I mean, it
technology.
Just horrible effects on people. Horrorble even. Oy vey.
All right. I think we covered most of the new news for this week. That's basically the new stuff. But I do want to say that our interviews are going to keep on flowing in. We're going to interview Hunter, who did LAHorror.com. He is the owner of LAHorror.com.
Nice.
Which is awesome. We're stoked about that one. And also we're stoked. We're going to be interviewing the directors of the new independent blow-up horror movie Starry Eyes. And that is Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmer. I don't know. It's a hard name to pronounce. But we're gonna.
Sorry, Dennis.
We'll have to ask him.
We'll ask him. But we are interviewing both those directors. And Starry Eyes, I know my co-host. You guys haven't seen it.
We
yet.
haven't seen it. No.
I watched it and it's fucking fantastic.
We should all watch it together.
Oh man, we're on the same.
You owe me a movie date.
You owe me a movie date.
Popcorn.
You guys really are adorable.
Well, what's cool is like I've been hearing about this movie all over the place. Like just like a few general movie websites, not even horror movie websites. I've been hearing about this movie. I'm excited to watch it.
Very
I've heard
cool.
good things.
Right, and we've been in contact, and they are happy to do an interview with us. So, guys, stay tuned. That'll be coming up in the next few weeks. Of course, we have a new episode every Tuesday, so check us out. Every single Tuesday, we'll have a new episode for you. And, of course, we're always on Twitter and email and Facebook. Our email is horriblepodcast@gmail.com, and our Twitter is horriblecast. That's @horriblecast, and our Facebook's just Horrible Podcast. So, thank you guys again for joining us. We had a blast, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Love ya, and always stay spooky.
You guys are dorks.
You guys are fucking dorks.